you don't have to take my word for practically any of the ghost stories we have, because most of my stories come from the guests. That building right down there, you see, that is one of the dormitories. In the middle of the night, none of her other roommates had even moved in yet, but she said that she was awoken. Dishes were shattered, all of her cutlery was scattered across the ground, and in fact, cherry on top, her art project, she said, was just shredded to pieces. No offense to any old folks, but old folks tend to die. And so they put them in the ground, but then in the years later, they decided they needed that land again. Abracadabra, that all just disappeared. It was due to their abject terror reintroducing the devil's disease back into the community. In Colonial Park, except for the fact that they would poke a hole in the ground with a straw straight into the coffin, and they would tie a string around the corpse's finger, attached all the way through that straw to a bell on the surface, and then if you happened to wake up dead, all you had to do was panic and flail your arms around, and you too would become one of the dead ringers of Savannah. And then you would be saved by the bell. Sometimes. Because, dude, just keep in mind, the gravekeepers didn't want to dig you up. Consider the current nationalists, you wouldn't want to touch those bodies either. And so your family actually had to pay them a kind of a death insurance under the table. That way, if that bell started to ring, they would look in their little black book, and if they saw your name, they'd dig you up. If your name wasn't there, then that bell would just keep on ringing until it stopped. Right where we're supposed to be. All us work for the gravekeepers one way or another. Though, trust me, that cemetery is closed in the evening nowadays, and most folks assume that to protect it from vandals. It's to protect the vandals from it.
Then, all of a sudden, the running ceased, and all I could hear was a slight crackling on the other side of the trapdoor. So I decided to try one more time. I gave one final push against it, and I felt a wave of flames rush past my face. I don't remember anything more, except that eventually I came to that I was outside. In the bright light of day amidst the ruins of the theater, and people were standing all round. I tried to call out to them for help, but no one seemed to see me or hear me.
Academy. And I went in there and all the lights started just randomly blinking.
Hey, it's a video, it's not a picture, you dummy.
The security guard making sure she wasn't the one doing it. She was like,